Oh, how I love the Paper Mario games. But then I look at what happened to them over the years and just wonder, how could this have happened? And that's why I want to take a look at the entire Paper Mario franchise today. We will look at how it started out with some legendary games, and then how the games got so much worse later on. Let's start out with the game that started it all. Paper Mario released in the year 2000 on the Nintendo 64. Sadly, I have barely played this game. I have about 2 hours total on the Wii U Virtual Console version. I do know that a lot of people love this game, and I can really see why. Even though I barely played it, I really liked the game. I actually don't really know why I never played it more. Yeah, I really need to play through this game properly someday. Given that I didn't really play this, I can't say much more on this. So let's get on to one of my favorite games of all time. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is so incredible that I can barely put into words how amazing this game is. And the community seems to agree. This is widely regarded as the best Paper Mario game. One thing that stands out so much with this game is how the developers just didn't hold back with anything at all. Like, there is a noose right in the middle of the main hub area. That's like if there was a noose right in the middle of Peach's castle in Mario 64. And don't even get me started on the fact that Mario gets robbed in the first 10 minutes of the game. Like, what? If all that wasn't weird enough, there is an odd romance between Peach and an AI. Like, this game was way ahead of its time. Even better, there is a whole chapter dedicated to a murder mystery conspiracy, and another chapter about identity theft. I am not sure I am even playing a Mario game anymore at this point. Yeah, enough about the complete crazy things this game pulls, even though I could keep on listing things for hours. Let's start talking about the combat system. It's the same combat system as in the first Paper Mario, but I decided to talk about it here as I actually played through the game, and not just once. It's a turn-based RPG combat system. You have 2 moves per turn. One is Mario and one is a partner. There are several different partners that all have unique abilities, so there's a strategy in which partner you want to use and when. One thing I really like about the combat in most Mario RPG games is that timing is an important aspect. You have to press buttons in the right timing to do extra damage. When enemies attack, you can press one of 2 buttons. One will make you take less damage and has a bit easier timing. The other is harder to execute, but you will take no damage and the enemy will take some damage instead. When you finish a battle, you gain some star points, and when you get 100 you will level up. When you level up, you can increase one of 3 stats, and nothing else gets increased. So you can't just level up your attack stat. Instead, you can only level up your HP, flower points, which are used for certain attacks, and badge points. So if you can't level up your attack stat, how do you actually become stronger? The answer is badge points. You can equip badges using your badge points. These badges can do many different things, like give you new attacks that deal more damage. So instead of gradually becoming stronger, you get new powers. There are some exceptions where badges give you straight up extra damage, but they come with a drawback. Like the Jumpman badge, which gives Mario's jumps extra damage, but disables the hammer. I really think the badge system is one of the best RPG power systems there are. It's filled to the brim with strategy, as you get many badges, but your badge points are limited. Another amazing aspect of the Thousand Year Door is the story. I will not go into detail on the story as I want to avoid spoilers because of the incoming remake. What I can say is that there are such amazing characters, especially the partners. The partners all have their own story that can also get really sad at times. Bobbery, I'm looking at you. Each chapter of the game has a partner that will join Mario. The stories of the partners are then tied to their respective chapter. This means that every partner gets their own showcase in the story. Now, there is a lot more to say about the Thousand Year Door. I am planning to make a whole video about it before the remake comes out. To make sure you don't miss it, go ahead and cut that subscribe button. Next up is Super Paper Mario. I really love this game, even though it has very different gameplay from the previous games. Instead of being an RPG, it's more of a mix between RPGs and 2D platformers. Although it also has the 3D gimmick where you turn the 2D world sideways to reveal a 3D world. Honestly, really cool gameplay and an amazing way to combine 2D with 3D. The combat has become more basic in this game. There is no turn-based combat at all, and most enemies can be jumped on. Although enemies do have different health, so you gotta jump multiple times to defeat them. Just as in previous games, Super Paper Mario has an amazing story. The looming threat present in this game can be felt so much. Like, the world is literally ending. It's an amazing story with great twists. I don't think any other Paper Mario game has plot twists like this one. Some are just on a whole different level. I think that everyone should experience the story for themselves. That's why I won't go into any detail here. I'm just gonna say that Dimentio in particular is on a whole different level story-wise. Just as in previous games, you do meet characters that you team up with, but this time it's a bit different. There are still partner-like characters, which sadly don't get as much focus as in the Thousand Year Door. But then there are also the other playable characters, Luigi, Peach and Bowser, which all take an important part in the story. Now, let's move on to a turning point in the Paper Mario franchise.
11th November 2012, the day Paper Mario died.
Paper Mario Sticker Star was a low for the whole Paper Mario franchise. The game goes back to being an RPG again, but how they made it is what messed it up. Firstly, they divided the world into different levels. I know that previous games didn't always have a fully connected world. For example, the Thousand Year Door has pipes and other ways where you just go from one place and instantly end up in the next. But it still felt way more connected than the level map that you get in Sticker Star. Each area just feels completely disconnected and it barely feels like a coherent world. What's even worse though is what they did to the battle system. This is full on criminal. So, if you wanna do anything in battle, you need to use a sticker. When you use it, then it's gone. This generally makes you try to not use your good stickers on basic enemies, which will drag out the battles. To make this whole sticker drama even worse, they removed experience points and leveling completely. So your only way to get stronger is getting stronger stickers you barely want to use, as it feels like a waste. And what do we get from battles? Coins, which you use to buy the basic badges. There is literally no incentive to battle at all. You gain what you lose. It's a +-1. Now onto the story. Another full-on disaster. We are back to the basic Bowser does a bad thing story. For traditional Mario games, Bowser is a great antagonist and I wouldn't want him swapped out. But he just doesn't fit as an antagonist in Mario RPGs. Well, what does Bowser do in Sticker Star? He attacks during the Sticker Holiday, whatever that is, and splits the Sticker Comet. Mario then needs to collect the pieces to save the Mushroom Kingdom. That's pretty much it. Like, I'm sorry, but this game is just a full-on disaster. Let's go and see how the franchise continues from here. Next up, we have Paper Mario Color Splash, and I gotta admit, I never played this one. I just couldn't stand Sticker Star so much that I didn't even want to play this game, as it was obvious it was basically Sticker Star 2.0. To get back to the awful combat system from Sticker Star, yeah, Color Splash uses the same with all of its flaws. From what I have seen, there is even another resource you need to paint the stickers with before you use them. So not only do you lose your stickers, you also lose the resource you need to attack. I can't fully judge as I have not played it, but it sure looks like the battles are even more pointless than back in Sticker Star. The story is just like in Sticker Star. Bowser does some bad thing. From what I've heard, it's not any better than Sticker Star. But I don't even know the story, so I won't judge it myself. Probably will never be able to judge it, as I have no interest in playing this game at all. Let's move on to a game that I have actually played. Paper Mario the Origami King tried to steer the franchise into a better direction, and they definitely succeeded in doing so. Although not as much as I had hoped. After like 6 hours, I got bored of it and haven't touched the game since then. They revamped the whole battle system into this puzzle where you have to rotate the battlefield to align the enemies so you can hit multiple enemies in one attack. And the best part about it is that they removed the stickers, so you don't actually get punished for fighting enemies anymore. All this considered, the battle system is a lot better, but battles sadly still have a huge issue. They might have changed the battle system, but they still kept it the same way that you don't get stronger by battling. There is no leveling system at all. Instead, the players get some coins as rewards for battles. And given that the game completely spams the player with more than enough coins even without doing battles, there really isn't any point to battling. Another aspect they tried to improve was the story. There are more characters now and a unique antagonist in the form of King Ollie. For the few hours I did play, I did not like the story at all. It still felt pointless and boring. Any special character you meet just looks like an ordinary Mario enemy or basic Toad. Old Paper Mario was so good with using the known species, but having each character look different. With Origami King, they also try to reintroduce partners in a way. There are certain characters that join you throughout the game, but only for a short amount of time. To make it even worse, these are also basic looking Mario enemies. Yeah, this game was a step in the right direction, but it isn't really a return to the great Paper Mario we knew. But what comes next is very interesting and exciting. Last year in September, Nintendo announced the unthinkable. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door is actually getting a remake. I honestly thought The Thousand Year Door would never get a remake, but here it is. Maybe we can even get Mother 3 next? Oh yeah, about that. What's really fun is that the remake was announced right while I was doing a replay of The Thousand Year Door. So that's one way to end a replay. But yeah, I am so excited to play this game in just 2 months. The remake looks so good, it's just incredible. I am a bit worried about how much they might censor the game, as the original did have some questionable things. But then I think of how integral many of those questionable things are to the main game, so they can't really change it. I mean, we do know that the noose is still in the game. The best part about this is that we are guaranteed to get another peak Paper Mario experience. This is how it's supposed to be. I did talk quite a bit about the original earlier in the video, of course, and the same points still apply to the remake. Now, that was the story of the whole Paper Mario franchise. I really do hope that the Thousand Year Door remake starts a new era for Paper Mario where the games return to their old glory. It would be amazing to see more games in the style of the first two, with amazing stories, with a great combat system, with great characters, just an overall great experience. If you played any of the Paper Mario games, do tell me which is your favorite down in the comments. I would love to see your thoughts on the games. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see ya in the next one.